The New York Jets schedule came out last night. We're going to get into it, break it down, give a way too early win, loss going through. Let's hop into it. Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about the Jets schedule that dropped last night. Before we get started today, I just wanted to mention that you can follow on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast and the Patreon. Exit 16 West just came out yesterday. Yes, yesterday. And we talked with Jet Central, and it was an absolute blast. So check it out, please. All right, so after many rumors, we finally have the real McCoy, the real thing, the Jets schedule here. So I'm going to go through game by game, tell you what I think. And we'll go through win, loss, the whole deal all the way through and figure out where I guess where I think this team's going to be. So starting out, the Jets at home are hosting the Baltimore Ravens. This is not a matchup that I'm very fond of. I don't think the Jets match up well against this team. Baltimore is going to want to run the ball a lot. Lamar Jackson obviously is a running quarterback, and the Jets struggled mightily against the run. Now, obviously, a lot is dependent on how big of a step forward Zach Wilson takes. So, like, who knows? If he takes a massive step, they should be competitive week over week. But I don't like this matchup at all for the Jets in week one. So I'm going to hit them with a loss to open up the year. In week number 2, the Jets get the Cleveland Browns on the road. I like getting the Cleveland Browns this early. And the reason for that is, with Deshaun Watson, how long is he going to be suspended for? Is he going to be suspended? I think he does get suspended. So the fact that the Jets would likely be playing against Jacoby Brissett in week 2, I like their chances. Yes, that roster is very good, but you got to win some of these games when you're given the opportunity. And if you're going to take that step forward that everyone wants you to, then yeah, you should probably win that game. So I'm going to say this is the Jets' first win of the season. So 1-1 through 2 weeks. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals, defending AFC champs, at home. You beat them last year at home. Can you do it twice? No, I don't think the Jets get it done. I think they lose to Cincinnati. The Jets in 2022 are hoping to be the 2021 Cincinnati Bengals from last year. This team is just really good. I mean, they are. And sure, any given Sunday, like, I understand that, but I mean, if we did the any given Sunday gimmick, then I'd have the Jets at 17-0. So I'm trying to do this semi realistic. So I'm going to chalk that one up as a loss. So 0-2 at home, 1-0 on the road. And ironically, in week 4 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think the Jets could win that game. I'm not really a big fan of either Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett. I would have probably liked to get them a little bit later in the season, but this is a game that I think the Jets should be in. Yes, Pittsburgh was a much better team last year. I understand that. They have a really good defense, or at least an edge presence with TJ Watt. So they have the potential to get after the quarterback, but the Jets improve their offensive line. This is another matchup where, on paper, if Zach Wilson isn't the better quarterback, there's a little bit of an issue here. So that's my feeling behind it. Just similarly to the Browns, if you're not getting a game against Deshaun Watson, that's a game you got to come away with. So 2-2 through 4 weeks. Week 5, Miami at home. I think the Jets split with Miami this year. So I'll say they win the home game and improve to 3-2, a winning record. The Jets are allowed to have a winning record. Love that. Miami, I mean, we don't have to go into super crazy detail with them. They're a team we know very well. Obviously, they landed Tyreek Hill. I'm not a big Tua guy. I think he's limited at the quarterback position, and you got to start winning divisional games at home against teams that you're at least comparable with. So I have the Jets winning this one. Then the Jets they have a gauntlet after this. So on the road, Green Bay. I mentioned that they've played the Green Bay Packers really well in recent years. And Green Bay, I could tell you this, is also coming back from London at that time. The week prior, they're playing in London. So you maybe be able to squeak out one, but I don't know. Green Bay is just so much better on paper than this Jets team. So I'm going to have the Jets losing this one to go to 3-3. On the road at Denver is extremely, extremely, extremely difficult. One, Denver's a tough place to play to begin with. And then add on the fact that Russell Wilson's their quarterback now. Yikes. I have the Jets dropping that one and falling under 500 at that point. All right, Jets Patriots week 8. Can they get it done? Yes, I think they do. I think the Jets finally beat the New England Patriots for the first time since 2015. That's how long it's been since the last time the Jets have beaten the Patriots. Week 16, 2015. I was in attendance for that game. Probably the best Jets game I've ever been to. They have to beat them again. You just have to. When you look at this New England team, they definitely took a step back on paper. They lost a couple of key pieces. You lost your offensive coordinator. Mac Jones is going to give you what he's going to give you, but you got to be able to win some divisional games, guys. It's really not asking too much. So the Jets go back to 4-4 through 8 weeks. Okay, that's pretty solid. I'll take it. Week 9, though, against the Bills, I think this is a loss. I don't think the Jets match up well against the Bills. I know they played them tough in Week 18 last year, but I think the Bills are on a mission this year. They obviously lost a playoff game in tough fashion to the Kansas City Chiefs, but they are absolutely locked and loaded, and they're a Super Bowl favorite for a reason. Week 10 bye week, I kind of like that. This is a good spot for a bye week. Last week, it was so early in the year. I kind of like mid-November for a bye. That's a nice spot. Outside of the bye, the Jets get the Patriots on the road. I don't think they'll beat the Patriots on the road. I think you split, and that's totally fine. I think I'm more than okay with a split with New England at that point. So stacking up back-to-back losses at that point with the Bills outside of the bye week and then the Patriots outside of the bye week, you're now at 4-6 through 10 games. All right, week 12 against the Chicago Bears. If the Jets can't beat the Chicago Bears at home, that's a massive issue. I genuinely feel, I've said this many, many times in videos on Twitter, all that. I feel bad for Justin Fields. It's awful what they're doing to him because that roster just absolutely stinks. That offensive line's terrible. They don't have any playmakers. The Jets have to be, like, that's one that you should be circling on the schedule as a must win if you want to prove that you're not a pushover team. You got to beat the Bears at home. On the road to the Vikings, coin flip game, I'm going to say probably a loss. The Vikings on paper are the better team. I think they'll finish with similar records. And I'm not the biggest Kirk Cousins guy, but going on the road and winning against Minnesota is not going to be an easy thing. So I'll chalk that up as a loss. I will also chalk up the Bills in week 14 as a loss. Again, this is just this is a tough, it's tough. The Bills are just so damn good. I think that one's going to be a loss as well. So at that point, what are we at through 14 games? Through 13 games, the Jets are 5-8 at this point. But I like this stretch of the schedule a ton for the Jets here. Maybe they could end the season on a little bit of a high note. That'd be pretty good, right? I'll sign up for that. Detroit Lions at home. Now, Detroit's gotten better, but so has the Jets. And same deal with Chicago. You got to be able to beat a team like Detroit at home. You just have to, guys. Like, this is kind of stating the obvious here. I just think this is a game that you got to win. So the Jets are up to 6-8 at this point. Then you get the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. On Thursday Night Football, the lone primetime game, I think the Jets beat the Jaguars at home as well. Again, you got to beat teams like Jacksonville, Detroit, Chicago at home. There's no excuses at this point. And I'm curious to see how Zach Wilson looks down the stretch here, because I feel like this is the area where you circle and you say, okay, this is some winnable games on this schedule. Week 17 at Seattle. I think the Jets beat Seattle on the road. I know that, like, going from East Coast to West Coast, the Jets haven't done that well. The Jets haven't played well in Seattle. This is not the same Seattle team. They stink. They're going to be very, very bad this year. Yes, I think the Jets win 3 games in a row. That sounds crazy to me. In December, the Jets are going to win 3 games in a row. Yeah, against the Lions, Jaguars, and Seahawks, they should. They should. Do they go 2-1 over that stretch? Maybe there's a chance they go 2-1, but I think the Jets win this one to go to 8-8. And then in week 18, can they get over 500? Unfortunately, no. I have them splitting with the Miami Dolphins. Winning 4 games in a row would be phenomenal. Is it impossible? Of course it's not impossible, but I think they split there. So I have them at 8-9, 2-4 in the division, which is a massive step in the right direction because they haven't won a divisional game since Matt Barkley and the Bills in week 19. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. So that's the Jets schedule. Let me know what you think. Give me your record prediction in the comments below. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll talk to you next time.